There's only one thing you've ever wanted in your life, and there's only one goal that you ever had for yourself. And it may seem to you that what you are going for in your life is a lot of money or success or fame or the right relationship, the love of your life, all of those things that would make you really happy. And you were going about it, but it wasn't happening. And that was because you didn't fulfill the first goal and the first thing that you wanted, that you really wanted, even though you might not have been aware that you wanted it, it was still there. And if you were to achieve it, if you were to do this one thing, you would have everything else. You would have absolutely everything that you wanted in your life. And that one thing, that one goal that you had was to become yourself, was to become completely authentic, because you were born with everything that you needed to create the successful life. But you might not have known that because you could have been judging yourself and judging what you had and not allowing it to manifest the life that you wanted. And I'm talking about this because that's what I did. I'm an intuitive empowerment life purpose coach. So I know how difficult it can be finding that right place for you, or moving through your life and having different kinds of tragedies that happen and failures, and you think you're lost. No, you're not. You're on your path to fulfilling your first goal. And when you do that, everything else that you want will come to you. That's it. You're not even going to have to work that hard to get it, because it'll just come to you. Because now you've let down your resistance. You've let down your barriers from keeping everything from you. That's what I had to do. You see, I went through a life where I struggled quite a bit. I had so many different jobs and careers and a lot of different failures. Had a lot of successes though as well. But I didn't figure it all out until later. But I did figure it out. Now I'm 71 now. So I shouldn't be alive, meaning that I've gone through so much in terms of illnesses, accidents, things almost near-death experiences, that I should not be alive. And now this is who I am today, because I decided that I was going to become my authentic self. And it was a struggle, I'll tell you. But that is why I work with my clients, and I absolutely get you there, because I know what it takes. In 1974, I took a job at that time, didn't know what I was doing, had no experience in this job. And within a couple of years, I was so successful. I had taken this business, which I was competing with 500 businesses like it, and I became the highest producing company. Didn't know what I was doing. Then later, I came up to something else that I didn't know what I was doing. I started coaching, and I'm coaching vocals. That's where I began. And I started creating things that were just extraordinary. And I had people who were achieving so much. I didn't know music. I didn't know what I was doing. I had never been trained in that, but I became successful. And then over time, I created a program, an online program for this, and it earned over $1 million over a few years. It did all of that. And that was from me not knowing what I was doing. Didn't know what I had. Except I'd been working with it. You see, because in 1988, I started doing something called automatic writing, and I started receiving information. It was intuitive information, and it guided my entire life. It allowed me to create programs. It allowed me to write a book. It allowed me to do so many different things. But I didn't tell people because I wasn't willing to become my authentic self. You see, because sometimes what we do is we judge ourselves. We judge ourselves mainly because we think we fear what other people might think of us. They might judge us. Can't do that. You cannot live your life that way. You were born to do and have everything that you wanted. Everything is there. And all you have to do is align with your real self, your authentic self. And you can only get there when you become willing to take the steps, as I did. I've laid it all out though, because I've developed it, so I have it all now. But you can only get there if you're willing to take those same steps. And they're really easy. because you just have to answer certain questions. You just have to figure out what it is that's within you that you have that's going to cause you to become your authentic self, and then all of those other things will come to you. And it's just a process, because you have to understand you've probably been telling yourself something else for a really long time, and now you've got to use your brain to uncover that and to reprogram it to where you can have your authentic self, because that leads you to everything else. And you might think that you're going for your job and doing all of this and making all this money and that's going to do it. And then you've seen many people who've lost their fortunes because that wasn't it. Or you see them become really successful with all the things that you think you want, and you have these people who are really successful and then they give it all away. Because there's something inside of them that says, this is not the contribution I intended to make. Because see, you are meant to make a contribution. Every single person is. And it is one that is important in the world. Not only in your life, but the first thing that will happen, it will cause your life to become really successful. Once you start doing it, you become incredibly successful. And then you add that to the world. You're causing evolution. And that is what's going on in our world right now as well. Which is why I had to become my authentic self, is just as you do. That's exactly what's happening now. And all that means is that you have to remove every judgment you've had about yourself, every single one, everything that you did in the past that you thought was wrong or bad. No, that didn't happen. You were learning. And when you put all that together, you come to understand why you were born, what your purpose is, why you're on the earth, because it is there. It is there for every single person, except those who choose not to find it. So it's always a personal choice. And I pushed away for a long time. I pushed away because it was too difficult to move through that. So I understand what you go through, but that's why I am the best person. I am the best person that you could work with to come to that place of understanding who you are, because I get it. I had to struggle to get here, but now I've made the way easy. And it's a fun process. But everything that you want is within you. You've heard that forever. You just didn't know that what it took was you becoming willing to own every aspect of you, because it's brilliant.